Good morning students. I hope you all are well at home. Today we are going to start our chapter number 6, that is about of computer ethics. Okay, what is the mean of computer ethics, why we required it, what are the different rights. In this chapter we will learn some of the topics of this chapter we will cover in this video, and remaining topics we will cover in my next video.
Computing ethics are the code of conduct which is to be followed while using the internet. There are some rules and regulations that everyone using the internet should follow, and these are called as computing ethics. In spite of these, there are some unethical practices which are quite common on the internet. Especially these days when we are using internet so frequently, these unethical practices are quite common. Some of these are plagiarism, cyberbullying, hacking, phishing, etc. We would study about these one by one. The first is plagiarism. Plagiarism deals with stealing of ideas and thoughts of other people on the internet and projecting them as their own work, that too without the permission of the original author. So, it is quite related with the artistic and some video and audios which people usually upload on the internet. Some people download them and present them as their own work. This is called as plagiarism. It is considered as a cyber crime and the person doing this may be punished by the law. So, whenever you are downloading anything, any work of some other person which is copyright, you must ensure that that person knows it and you have the right to use it. So, we should know how to prevent plagiarism. There are some common points. While using information from online resources, plagiarism can be avoided by keeping in following points. The first point is, if you use the ideas, text, information, etc. from a website, always acknowledge the website from where it is taken. Second point is, seek written permission of the author whose contents you are using for your work. Third, write the content in your own language. Never use a published text without acknowledging reference. And the fourth is, you can also put such content in quotes for avoiding plagiarism. So, whenever you are downloading anything, whenever you are using anything from the internet, just keep these points in your mind. Now we move to second unethical practice, that is cyberbullying. Practices like threatening or humiliating others on the internet and causing harassment to others by posting some humorous or wrong remarks is called as cyberbullying. In simple words, we can say bullying on internet or bullying through the internet is called as cyberbullying. This has become very popular these days among the teenagers and young people who are quite using the internet for their fun and social networking. Sometimes it causes unrecoverable damage to the persons because they are mentally stressed. So, this cyberbullying can be prevented by keeping these points. The first is, never share your information and photos publicly on the internet. Second, keep your passwords strong and never share them with others. You can share it with your parents but not with your friends and other unknown persons. Never enter and tell your password to any suspected persons, although you need to tell the passwords to your parents. Third, while using your social networking accounts, check the privacy settings and keep them accessible to known people only. Fourth, think twice before posting any message on the internet. So these are some of the points by which we can escape and be safe from cyberbullying. Third is hacking. Hacking means gaining the access to a remote computer to control its resources and information without any authorization from the owner. In simple words, it can be understood as a person sitting somewhere else can have a control on your computer by sitting there only and without your permission. This is called as hacking. The intention behind accessing a system is to steal important information or to corrupt the data stored in it. Most of the time, the intention of the hacker is to gain information from the system. Information like passwords of the websites, passwords of the email or social networking sites, password of the internet banking. By using these passwords, he can hack your account and use it for his own intentions. So it is called as hacking, and you never know you have been hacked. Now, these are the steps or the measures to prevent hacking. First, never use pirated software downloaded from the internet. Always use licensed software. Second, always keep an up-to-date antivirus software in your system, which would protect your system from any type of virus. Third, change your passwords frequently. Fourth, never open an email message from an unknown person. Sometimes these persons send you some email messages that when you open, your computer control goes to them. So never open any message or never click on any link which is from any unknown persons. Sometimes they attract you by giving you some attractions like you have won this much and this much rupees, just click on the link to get that. So don't do that. Never click on such links. Now I hope you understood these three. Would move to next, that is phishing. Phishing is the act of collecting sensitive information of the user like his bank details, credit card information, net banking passwords, etc. using authentic looking mails. Such emails appear to be genuine and sent by the banks which collect information to perform fraudulent activities. Therefore, you might be heard many times saying to never enter your passwords or ATM pins on any email or send back to the bank or any other person through SMS or WhatsApp, because any bank would never ask for that. So sometimes these persons send you email which would ask for your passwords or PIN number, but you don't do that. Ask your parents also. Tell them these things. No bank or no other site would ask, no other genuine site would ask to enter the password or PIN of your ATM banks. If you enter, they would steal it and use it for their purpose. Now, to prevent phishing, first point is never open or respond to an unknown email received in your mailbox. Second, never provide any confidential information in reply to the emails received from the banks. Here, confidential information means passwords and PIN numbers of your banks. Third, never access a bank's website from the link provided in email. There are bank websites which you know. So go to the bank's website from those websites only. Never click on any link from the mail or anywhere else to reach a bank website. Last is spamming. Spamming refers to unwanted emails sent in bulk to multiple users for promoting products or services. You might have heard about the spams. Spams means these mails are sent by the products or by the production companies to multiple users in an instant for promoting their products or services. These types of mails are sent forcefully to the people who do not want to receive them. Most of these mails are harmless, but they exhaust the storage space and make it difficult for us to identify the important mails received. Means there are various companies who promote their products by sending the emails. If thousands and lakhs of companies daily send these type of emails in our email account, our email account would get exhausted. It would take a lot of memory in the storage. So this causes loss of memory. It doesn't harm our system, it doesn't steal some information, but only it exhausts the storage space and we may not have a look on some important mails. Now, to avoid spam mails, never provide your email address unnecessarily to any website. Second, email servers provide spam filters facility to keep such emails in a separate folder. Means, generally most of the email websites have a separate folder called as spam, where all these emails automatically are filtered and sent to the spam folder. Third, do not reply to the mails received in the spam folder. You may go and have a look on the spam folder but never reply to them. If you reply once, you would get more and more of such type of emails. So, we have to be cautious and we have to take proper steps to get protected from these unethical practices. It's in our hand only. We can be safe from these unethical practices, but we have to be very cautious while using the internet.
Students, thank you for watching the video carefully. Now you have to read chapter number 6 of your book. That is your homework for today. Thank you.